Okay. Hey everybody. I thought okay, my name's Aya. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel, A Very Good Life. Today we're going to be discussing Mars in the eighth house, and I thought I'd go live for the more personal aspects with Mars. Uh, I'm never going backwards again. It's very confusing for me. But here we are. The first thing we're going to talk about is um, dating a woman with Mars connected to the eighth house or Aries. Okay, let me tune in. I wrote a bunch of notes, but let me just kind of tune in. So the archetype, the person that I thought about while I was writing this stuff down was Sierra, the singer, the R&B singer. Okay, so if you're dating a woman with Mars in Aries or Mars in the eighth house or Mars connected to Pluto in any way, well, this is what she's attracted to. She honestly is attracted to bad boys, especially if she hasn't learned her lessons yet, because the eighth house is about starting from the bottom and having to work your way up in your evolution, right? And so she has a lot of lessons to learn in choosing the right person in love. But with Mars in the eighth house, once they get it, it's gotten and it's the best. It is because they've gone through so much pain and transformation. She likes an adventurous person. She likes a man that takes challenges head on. Um, she may actually antagonize you. She may challenge you a lot. Um, I already said she likes a bad boy, someone who lives on the edge. She may push you to the edge just so she can see your primitive side come out. Like she'll poke you to see if you're like going to stand up for yourself, see if you're pussy or not. And because she's also trying to egg on that masculine feminine attraction. She's trying to create, like, women with Mars in the eighth house are connected with Aries. They love like a good like passionate romp in between the sheets, and she knows instinctively the only way to get that out of you is if she kind of pushes your buttons and makes you mad because she wants to be snatched up and thrown on the bed. And so, yeah, she likes passionate, raw, violent sexual encounters. She likes a man that is independent and doesn't care what other people think. And like I was saying before, this could possibly get her in trouble. And when she sees that, okay, this may not be the best thing for like a long-term relationship, it's good for sex, it's good for passion, but it may not, this type of relationship may not be great for children. It may not be great for building a home with someone. Let's see. I can't see the comments. Nobody's commenting yet. Um, okay, so yeah, she'll oftentimes we're trying to turn sexual attraction into a relationship. Okay, so let's get into Mars in the eighth house. This is a really interesting aspect to me. First of all, Mars, well, the eighth house is about like life and death, right? What is going to push you over the edge and make you fight for something like Mars and Pluto energy together? I know all of that is Scorpio energy, and I know Scorpio energy can be very confusing for people, but I love it because it's so complex. I call Scorpio a metal sign. It's not a water sign to me. It's because it's just not all about like an emotional subconscious depth. Yes, it is, but it's also very instinctual. It's very primitive, and it's also it's transformational. So you can't really just say that that's water. And Scorpio is a fixed sign. It doesn't necessarily like just take the form of whatever you put it in is very analytical, and it's going to ask you like a million billion questions before it decides upon whether or not something is right for it, or if it's going to be, or if you're going to be the chosen energy, you know, the chosen perspective, the chosen situation. But with Mars here in the 8th house, this person is going to jump into things, especially when it comes to like business and relationships. What about Mars conjunct Rahu in Pisces in the 8th house? You should get a reading with me. Let me finish this first. All right, Mars in the 8th house goes after what they want, learns on the go. They don't know what they are doing, but they learn from failures. Okay, so this is the aspect of where this person flops and fails and flounders, and they can't seem to get it right. And people are like, why don't you go to school? Why don't you get a teacher? Why don't you get like listen to advice? But this person needs to learn by experience. And why is that? It's because when they finally do succeed after the 1,000,001 fail, they will have like a totally unique, independent style of doing things all their own, and the success will be so sweet. It's just kind of like they'll be like pumping their fists like Tiger Woods, like yes, like oh. So this person can come across like they're really braggadocious after they have conquered themselves. And it's not that, it's just that they're proud of themselves, okay? And so they don't want to follow another person's blueprint. They don't want to do things like other people have done them. They don't want to be like anybody else. And so it might look like they're rebelling against the system or going against the grain all the time. And that's maybe why they don't succeed as fast as maybe other people, or it just may look like that. And it's because they walk into a room and they kind of take over and they say, well, I see that it can be done a totally different way. And other people are like, well, I'm in charge here. Who the hell are you? And so people with Mars in the 8th house have Mars in the 1st on Virgo. So people with Mars in the 8th house have that takeover spirit, that leadership, and it causes drama. It causes them to create like unnecessary enemies, and they end up having to go at life alone. Okay, but they're not quitters, and that's the thing where you would think that they should quit, or where even when they think they should quit, they never give up. That also reminds me of Sierra. I actually looked up her chart because I was thinking about her. Like when it comes to her music and it comes to her business and it comes to her love life, you should look at her 8th house. She has a lot of interesting energies there. She does not give up. She actually keeps getting better because she knows that if she keeps going, she will succeed eventually. Okay. Not only will they prove everyone wrong, but when they finally get to where they know they belong, they will finally relax. But at first, it might be hard to be in a friendship or in a relationship with these people, because it seems like they can never like relax. They can never like sit still. They can never let something go. You know, they might have, thank you, Marjorie. I cut my hair because I'm tired of caring about it. It's getting there's no hair care products. Let me stay focused. So this aspect is about conquering the immature parts of the personality, kind of like starting at like a brown belt and working your way to a black belt when it comes to dealing with things in life. You may not have had anybody in the family that have taught you how to deal with business, how to deal with relationships, or how to deal with just like everyday life stuff and wanting to succeed so bad that they're willing to go through the pain and suffering in order to become the best. Okay. um and so where other people may have given up on this person, they never give up on themselves. And they actually have a push, this fire from the ancestors. This is an aspect where their ancestors want them to succeed. A lot of times, the energy and passion that we feel may not be linear, and it may not come from us. It comes from something that needs to be transmuted from the ancestors. Um, and with this aspect in the family line, there could be violence and anger, brutality, people holding grudges, people not succeeding, or people not being able to. It seems like people start things, but they don't finish them. And so this person has the task in their family lineage to actually finish what they start, to actually finish what the family maybe did not complete. So there's a lot of weight on this person's shoulders, and nobody can stop them. They're unstoppable. Okay, so dealing with things, another aspect of this, this person sexually may masturbate a lot. They have a lot of sexual energy to release. And like I was saying before, they might be in and out of relationships because the way they do things causes drama. Instead of like listening to other people or finding a peaceful way to do things, or following someone else's blueprint, they have to go off and do things their own way all the time, which means they fail a lot. Because if people don't recognize or understand where you're coming from, or if they feel like you're trying to take over what they're doing, or best out or be competitive with them, they're not going to help you. Even if you need help, this person might say, nobody helps me with anything. And it's because you're not low, they don't lower their head and say, okay, I'm going to be underneath you. I'm going to learn from you. I'm going to, they say, well, I want to do it. I want to do this, and I want to do it like this. And people are like, well, you don't have what you need to do that, so you're going to have to listen to me. And they say, well, I don't want to listen to you. I want you to to listen to me. And so it's just like all this drama, and they end up sitting at the table by themselves, maybe even getting bitter. It reminds me of people like in the music industry or in the entertainment industry who want to be in the industry so bad, but they don't want to follow the rules. They don't want to sell out, or they don't want to sign the contracts of the music industry. So they end up having to go independent, and they end up doing things the hard way, the long way. But they still end up with success, but they still may be bitter that, or trying to fit in, and they should just let it go. Let it go and just really enjoy being yourself, how God made you, because your testimony and your way of doing things is actually what other people are looking at. They're not necessarily looking at your end results. All right. Yeah. So yeah, this person has a lot of charisma. They have a lot of potential and raw energy. But the question is, are they going to go through everything they need to go through in order to reap the benefits of this aspect? And most of the time, the answer is yes. So let's look at the comment section. What about Mars conjunct Rahu in Pisces in the 8th house? All right. So Rahu is the south node, right? Okay, so this person has a lot of karma. from past lives that they're still dealing with. They have abused power in past lives, and they're not really necessarily being set free from it. They're still having to redeem themselves. So they have to be a servant in this lifetime in order to process that South Node energy correctly. But most of the time, with the South Node energy, they will tend to repeat offenses, trying to usurp people's power or to overtake other people's energy vampires, or I don't know, stuff like that. And it's not until they learn their lesson will they be set free. She said it's an ex-boyfriend, not her. All right, have Mars in the first in Virgo like you. Yeah, Mars in Virgo is in its downfall actually. But we'll get to that. Liberated hair suits you. Yeah, I like my hair like this. Oh, so Rahu is the north node. Ketu is the south node. All right, so in the north node, then it is their purpose this lifetime to learn how to use the resources around them in order to they're supposed to use the resources from spirit that spirit gives them. They're supposed to learn to surrender to spirit, their resources and their strength and their power, which won't be easy for them. Okay. And in past lives they were lazy. they got real lazy, and they like to spend time having sex and eating and enjoying the pleasures of the flesh. In this lifetime, and honestly, with the north node oftentimes isn't activated completely until a person's 35 years old. All right. I don't see anybody else here. I have a lot of work to do today, and so I'm going to head out. Thank you for the compliments about my hair, because there's nobody to do my hair in Peru. And so I just cut it so I don't have to worry about it. I'll talk to you guys probably tomorrow about the 7th house.